Hi, I'm Lena, I'm an INFJ, I'm Swedish, and I just very spontaneously felt like making a video about being a female INFJ. And short background for me, I took the test around 10 years ago. A guy that I was dating casually at the time asked me to make this personality test because he was interested in finding out what type I was. He said he had a guess. I told him my results and he was like, "Wow, you're unique." And I was like, really? You need me to take a test to realize that I'm unique? He was also an introvert, by the way. But then I didn't really care about the meyer-briggs or read about it. I didn't find out anything more about my type for maybe 10 years, and last summer I started finding material. I don't remember how or why, and I felt that it was so relieving, that it was such relief, that it has helped me so much, and it still is helping me a lot, even though I'm not super familiar with meyer-briggs, the whole theory, the system of I understand the introvert and extrovert, but when people say the NE or the FE, I don't quite follow. But I think maybe for the personality types that are the more unusual types, that it's more meaningful to us because for example, as an INFJ, when I read the descriptions and follow and also see clips, it's like I'm understanding things about myself that I haven't understood during the whole first 40 years of my life. I'm 40 years now, and I think, or I guess I've been expecting myself to react and behave and feel like other people do, and when I don't, it's very confusing. It's confusing to myself and for others, how I can be so contradictive in my reactions and so strong and so sensitive at the same time, and so vulnerable but then so straightforward. And yeah. First of all, I think that being an INFJ woman is really a clash with gender roles. And of course the gender roles are different all over the world, but in the Western world they are pretty similar, and there are some traits that women are expected to have that I don't have. But yeah, and usually I think it goes like this. First impression of me is that I'm very sweet and laid back and soft and gentle and understanding. I read people very well. So people expect me to be a typical female, or have typically female traits. But then it turns out that I'm really dominant, very stubborn. Oh my God. I love adventures. I like to keep my options open. I don't like to settle down. I love to explore and learn, change and develop. I'm very intellectual, so this can become a shock or a clash when I get to know especially men, because I'm dating men, and yeah, that's really off. And maybe, I don't know, sometimes I wish maybe it was more obvious from the beginning that I'm dominant, but it doesn't it doesn't come off like that. So that's confusing to myself and to others. This means that I'm just realizing that I am a female who is alpha, but I'm not an alpha female. And to me, this means that in my world, the alpha female is someone who is very sexy and feminine, but also homebound, likes to create a family, raise children, and has a dominant, maybe more aggressive style with other heterosexual men, and with the about the home, the creating the home with the children. I'm not like that at all. I also think that when alpha females have conflicts with men, that they have conflicts kind of in like a sexy way that makes the men want to fuck her. And with me, when I have conflicts with men, it makes them hate me. It's like not a turn on at all. It's just, they become like upset and very disturbed, and you know, I don't know, I get intellectual with them. I think also the alpha female is the leader of the pack, maybe in a more aggressive or obvious way. Like in high school, she would like lead the girls of the group or a gang or whatever, and I would never do that. Never ever, not my style at all. I would like stay in the background and just assess everything and everyone. And if someone ever came to me with a question or like, what's your point of view? I have a very specific opinion about basically anything and everything. So yeah, I think it's hard. I think it's hard to be an INFJ woman, because at first it might seem like it's a nice match, being like sensitive and smart and funny and creative or whatever, but it's actually pretty hard, because some of these traits are expected from men, like masculine, considered masculine traits, like the visionary, the leader type, the not settling down, the adventurous side, and it has definitely been hard for me, and it still is. And I think I'm learning to try to just accept that I have this type, and it is what it is. So finally, clashes and matches as an INFJ woman. I think like the hardest clashes that I have are with people who are not able to be abstract at all. Like maybe introverts, like the typical engineer, but not like a cool or sweet and calm engineer, but like the stubborn, very square engineer who is provoked if I say that I'm like a feminist, or go into an intellectual conversation with him from another viewpoint that doesn't focus on details in the same way that he does. Like he will freak out, I will freak out. I think that's the worst clashes I have with men who are maybe introverts and into details a lot. I don't know what their type would be, because I'm not so into the meyer-briggs types. And matches, I think actually that I discovered, or I realized that I do go well with other dominant types. Like I think I have most exchange with guys who are also dominant, but not in an aggressive way, obviously, but like in a warm or passionate way. If you care about things and you're interested in things, and reading or politics or science, or just caring about the future, that kind of passion and being engaged in things, that can match really well. And I do find that it's like easier for me to respect people like that, and to feel that I'm equal if someone else is also a bit like dominant, not to let me have like not the upper hand, but to get like too much space to just rule things, like to put my foot down or say like what it's like, da 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 da. As many INFJs, as I realized, I suck at relationships. I really do. That's also very hard. I have to learn a lot. And I think that's also a bit like off on the female part, that females are expected to be better at relationships. But it's very hard for me to be vulnerable And that's also more, I think, for the alpha female than for a female who's alpha, because I see the alpha female as being this good like companion with the alpha male, or just the male, like, yes daddy, like I will, you know, guard the house and stand at the ground and just take care of the home and provide all these female, you know, I trust you and just bring me money and I will be the woman, bring home the bacon, whatever. And I find it very hard to depend on people, to be vulnerable. But again, we are all different, and I know also that I have some personal issues from my background, that I'm a recovering codependent and the child of an alcoholic. So I've also been able to like already work with some of the issues that relate to this. So yeah, that was some thoughts from me. I would love to hear if anyone relates. That would be awesome. Thank you very much.